Hey there, everyone. Ashley Bullington with the fifth quarter, our Friday night wrap-up show where we bring you all the Houston high school sports action. And right now we've got hoops going on. And up first, we have Inside High School Sports Insider Ryan Harris on with us. Hey there, Matt. What's happening down in Houston in the hoop scene right now?
We had a couple big games tonight. One of the ones that I think everyone down in the area was keeping our eye on collectively was in 5A. Shadow Creek took on, they had a big district game against Fort Bend Hightower, both ranked in the top 5 in the state. Shadow Creek wound up picking up a win there, but that is a big game in a big district, maybe the most talented district in Texas. You throw in Manville in with those two, that is 3 teams ranked in the top 15 of the state, all sharing the same district. So really good game there tonight. And that's a big one that we've been keeping our eye on.
Yeah, those are two great teams. I got to watch Shadow Creek in person not too long ago, and they are just on another level of good. But not only that, they are in a really good district of fantastic teams. I mean, you've got Foster in there, you've got Manville, some just really solid teams in that district once again.
Yeah, it really could be one of the better districts, if not the best district in the state, especially at the 5A level. A ton of talent there.
So let's talk about some of these. Now the district started, let's talk about some of these district races that we're seeing, and kind of how they were affected tonight with some of the games that you were checking in on.
Yeah, so an interesting district to me is Katy ISD. Morton Ranch, I think, is far and away the best team. They had a tough game tonight where they won by 3 points over Cinco Ranch. LJ Cryer got his 35 points as usual. He's always scoring up there in the 30s, but that was a little bit of a surprise that they played that close of a game, because this Katy district is a lot of average to above average teams that are fun to watch, but then you've got Morton Ranch, which is head and shoulders above everyone else. And then also in Katy ISD, Taylor was down by 5 points against Seven Lakes with a minute left. They came back to win by 3 points, due to 32 points from Jake Arnold and another 15 from Julian Luke.
So who are some of the biggest players even that you're watching that you might be a little bit surprised about? I know we all know the Traymon Mark, we all know the LJ Cryer and the Eddie Lampkin, but who are some other players that you've been seeing really been making a difference?
Yeah, so another one of the best teams in the state that I've been keeping my eye on is North Shore. They came out with a 2-point win tonight against Deer Park. But speaking of names, Randy Woodard's been great for them all season. He hit a buzzer beater to help North Shore win that game tonight. Finished with 18 points and 8 rebounds. And then over in Klein Forest, Dalen Hamilton's had a great year as well. He had 37 tonight in an overtime win for Klein Forest. So Klein Forest is a team that it's always a team you got to keep your eye on. They're a little bit down this year, but Dalen Hamilton has been phenomenal for them, and he's been really the key cog for them. A name that maybe not as recognized around Houston as, like you said, the LJ Cryers of the world, but he's a really nice piece that I think, with the numbers he puts up, you're going to start seeing his name pop up a lot in box scores this season.
What are some of the races, besides the ones you've been seeing, some of the districts that you're watching throughout the rest of the Houston area?
Yeah, so going back to football season, 15-6A was one of my favorites, and uh, I it, I didn't think that it was going to be as competitive as it has been, but it's been a great district to keep my eye on once again here in basketball season. Like I said, Klein Forest picked up an overtime win tonight. They beat Klein Kane by 2 on Tuesday, I believe. So that's a district where you've got a lot of, I would say, like kind of like Katy ISD, a lot of above average teams fighting for position, and you're going to see a lot of close games. You're not going to see teams just blowing each other out of the water left and right, where I think a lot of districts have maybe 2 really good teams, 2 teams that aren't going to make the playoffs, and a lot in the middle. Katy ISD and that 15-6A with Klein Forest and all of them, I think those are 2 districts where you're going to see 1 to 8, a lot of really good competition.
Awesome, Matt. Is there anything else that you want to add to this week of basketball coverage?
I don't think so. Like I said, some of the great games that I know you guys will get into a little bit later here on the fifth quarter. Shadow Creek and Hightower was a great one with Shadow Creek picking up a win. Klein Forest in overtime. North Shore at the buzzer. Again, that's a great district to keep an eye on. It's because you think North Shore is one of the top rated teams in 6A. Deer Park has had a great year as well. So Deer Park is maybe a dark horse, I guess you would say, to keep an eye on. And again, like I said, Katy ISD has been a lot of fun to watch so far, and maybe we'll get a surprise. Maybe Morton Ranch slips up. It almost happened tonight, and the district season is still young.
Thank you so much, Ryan. It's a great year for Houston High School basketball. I love hearing about those district races. But when we come back, we'll have a high school basketball coach on with us to talk more about his team that he's put together this season.
Don't forget to catch our extended coverage of the high school football season each week on The Warm-Up, presented by your local Houston area Geico agents. We will get you ready for all the action this Thursday on all our social media outlets.
And we're back with the fifth quarter. Cy Creek football had a pretty deep run in Texas high school football playoffs, and their basketball team is looking to do the same. We caught up with their head coach earlier in the week to talk about his team this season.
How could this win propel you guys in what looks like a real tight district race?
For us, it's just trying to find a way to play better basketball every single day. It's a process. I told our guys we want to play our best basketball in February. It's not about right now. It's about trying to get better every single time we go out, and I think we're doing that. It's just a slow process at times, but we're learning.
How do you feel about your team having the next stretch of like the next 4 5 weeks or so?
I think it's less about our opponent and more about our kids' mindset. Are they going to be unselfish? Are they going to play hard for each other? Or are they going to compete game in and game out? And I feel like it's less about the people on the other side, and it's more about how we're going to treat each other and how hard we're going to play.
Last thing, kind of, what do you feel like this team needs to do to ultimately finish with the goals that you guys have?
Trust each other. To be honest, it's easy when you're tired to doubt your team and to start to make questionable decisions. But for them, it's knowing that everybody's got their best interests in mind and to just play hard for each other because, I'm not bringing any help for them. And I only have so much effect. So I just want them to trust each other, buy into each other, and play the hardest.
Coach, thank you so much for coming on the fifth quarter with us. When we come back, we'll have the producer of Chevrolet's Inside High School Sports, Robert Sheik, to talk about what you'll be seeing on the show tomorrow night.
Watch Inside High School Sports to catch this week's Chevy Spotlight, brought to you by your Houston area Chevy dealers. Visit your nearest Chevy dealer to test drive their award-winning products.
And we're back with the fifth quarter, and we have on the phone with us Robert Sheik, the producer of Chevrolet's Inside High School Sports. So, Robert, what games are you watching tonight, and what were some of the things that you saw around the Houston area for basketball?
Well, the big one is the game that I think everyone was talking about in Class 5A, Fort Bend Hightower and Shadow Creek, and it lived up to the billing, a high-scoring shootout, and Shadow Creek wins it 86-74, I believe was the final. And, Shadow Creek continues to look really good. It seems like in every sport. The Shadow Creek girls even got a big win tonight over Hightower. Both of those teams. On the boys' side, they were ranked number 2 and 3 in the state, and I believe on the girls' side, they were ranked number 5 and 6 in the state, Shadow Creek and Hightower. So both big showdowns on each side. Shadow Creek wins both of them. We're living in a world where it's not inconceivable that Shadow Creek wins a football state championship, and boys and girls basketball both are very capable of making it to state out of Class 5A Region 3.
What a story that would be.
Yeah, in the second year for varsity football, it's the third year, I believe, for varsity basketball. But still, yeah, unbelievable run going right now for Shadow Creek in Class 5A. It's pretty incredible to say the least.
I'll be interested to see how well they do when they move up to 6A. But what can we expect to see on the show this week, Robert?
Well, we talked about, how good that Shadow Creek team is, and that's going to be our game of the week. But quite possibly maybe the best team on the boys or girls side in the entire Houston area is a focus of our Chevy Spotlight this week, and that's the Cy Creek Lady Cougars, undefeated, having just an unbelievable season for head coach Jennifer Alexander. She has 2 junior guards, Kendall Hunter and Rory Harmon, and who are both top-level recruits, but really that entire team, and it's a lot of juniors too. It's not just those 2 juniors, Taylor Jackson, the post player. So anyway, fun group of girls, and that's a fun team to watch the rest of the season. That's the focus of our Chevy Spotlight. Plenty of other good games though. We saw the Cy Creek boys win a big game earlier this week against Cy Ridge. Pearland against Pearland Dawson, the big rivalry, boys and girls, both from Tuesday night. We'll have highlights of both of those games. Pearland notching the win in both, and Pearland is really a team to keep an eye on this year. Only 1 loss so far heading into tonight. I haven't gotten a chance to see the full scoreboard from Friday night, but Pearland having quite a season in District 23 6A. Bel Air with a big win over Sam Houston on Tuesday. That'll be on the show as well. And some other stuff, Galveston Ball and Crosby, a nice little game in District 22 5A tonight. Crosby squeaks out a 6-point win. We'll have highlights of that one. And Fort Bend Bush and Ridge Point tonight. So we'll have highlights of that. Kind of an interesting night. Some schools ended up moving some game times up, and a lot of JV games are canceled because of the impending threat of severe weather. So that always throws a wrench in the plans of producers like myself.
I thought we just had to worry about that during football season.
I know. You think that basketball is played indoors. It shouldn't. We shouldn't be at the mercy of the weather gods, but here we are. So I guess travel and stuff like that's important for everyone to be safe. So
good old Mother Nature.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, a lot of good highlights on the show this week, and starting with that big Shadow Creek win over Hightower. Again, the number 2 ranked team in the state against the number 3 ranked team in the state in Class 5A. Those 2 teams will they will play each other again in district play, and Shadow Creek kind of has the upper hand right now in terms of the district championship with the win tonight. But Hightower will get the return game at its house here in another month or so, and then those 2 teams could very well end up meeting again, perhaps let's just say in the regional finals with a trip to state on the line. So I don't think we've heard the last of Shadow Creek and Hightower this season, that's for sure.
I feel like anytime you talk about Shadow Creek, I just start hearing Jaws music in the back of my head. Done. One more thing, I think I heard that Adam Coleman was coming on the show tomorrow. What do we have him talking about?
Yeah, we have Adam talking about some of the best players in the area, and getting his thoughts on who some of the top talents basketball wise are across the greater Houston area. And you'll have to tune in tomorrow morning, or tomorrow evening. I have to get used to this. For those of you who haven't noticed yet, we have officially moved to 11 p.m. every Saturday night now, no longer at 8:30 a.m. So 11 p.m. on KHOU 11, and Adam Coleman will be there with his thoughts on some of the top players too, and as we mentioned, a lot of good highlights, and we'll give out an MVP bobblehead award. So plenty of fun stuff to catch up with us tomorrow night.
Can't people see a little bit of Inside High School Sports on the morning show?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, you caught me off guard there.
Sorry, my bad.
No. Yeah, absolutely. So during the mornings, we will have a little 5-minute segment, 4.5-minute segment during the KHOU 11 Saturday morning newscast. And then the full show will be Saturday evenings at 11 p.m.
Thank you so much, Robert. It's going to be a great show. Every show is great on Chevrolet's Inside High School Sports. And don't forget, there is a new time, 11 p.m. on KHOU 11. So don't miss that tomorrow night, hosted by Matt Musil. And thank you so much for watching the 5th Quarter.